What's up, everybody? Happy Valentine's Day. Or I like to say, Happy Romance Day. Yes, right. Today is all about romance. For all the lovely couples out there, Happy Valentine's Day. Enjoy yourself. But there's a segment of our nation, segment of the world that may be feeling a little bit lonely today. Or may not be feeling a little bit lonely today, but there's a lot of people who normally take this time to reflect on their singleness. That's right. I'm talking about the singlehood. I'm talking about the people who just single, have never been married, you're divorced, separated, or even widowed. You may be alone right now. You may want to be with someone right now. You may want to have a great night. You may be seeing all these wonderful couples enjoy themselves on Valentine's Day. And it may put a seed in your mind that, will I ever find someone? Or it may be a lot of women out there, and there may be men out there as well. We always think women are the only ones that deal with this. Men definitely do. You may see that biological clock ticking, and you know that it's time for you to find someone. Some may even result to say, I'm desperate for someone. I was recently reading through a lot of quotes, and I saw a quote that reminded me of someone being desperate. It's a quote from the book Impossible is Stupid, and it's by Osai, whoever her last name is, but it reads this. But if as you read this book, you're saying to yourself, I'd rather be miserably married than be alone. Well, young lady, take out your clown's shoes and buckle your seatbelt. It's going to be a very bumpy one-woman circus. Guys, let me give this disclaimer and let me give you this full disclosure. I'm definitely married, and I've been with my wife for over 11 years, as some of you have discovered in our recent videos. So I haven't been on the dating scene for a while, but I definitely have been keeping my ear to what's going on. And I see there's so many people out there that are single, so many people that are out there wanting to be with someone, and so many people out there that are quote unquote desperate. But let me say, first of all, I feel your pain. I feel your pain, Lord. I feel your pain. But let me also say, as a married person, you have nothing to be desperate about. Being married is great, but I say being single is great as well. It's just as great. There's no competition between the two. I think we put limitations and expectations on our lives and be so grand, and we have so many things planned out that we don't take time to realize that marriage is one of those things that it takes the right time, the right person, the right opportunity for it to work out. It's not something that just happens. It's not something that we can ultimately control. Well, guys, I was watching one of my favorite TV shows, as some of you may know already, Divorce Court. And you guys know it's with my girl, Judge Lynn Toller. Well, sometimes she do a segment called Before Your Vows. And she speaks to couples who want to get married, are very close to getting married, but they get her advice on whether or not they should be married. And it was a couple on there just the other day that reminded me of desperate to be married. And I want to show you guys this couple and give my commentary. Let's check it out. All right, guys, here we go. As I said before, it's my favorite show, or one of them at least. And we have the episode Butler versus Harris. Let's get into it. I'm gonna skip around for all the important parts here, but we'll get the gist of this case. All right.
Today on Divorce Court,
I need Judge Lynn Tolar to tell Jerome that communication is the key to making a relationship work.
She needs to listen to what I need to continue.
Jerome will say one thing and then he'll say he never told me that.
Everything is her way.
It's hard to trust him. He doesn't let me in.
My trust issues extend from her being too accessible to me and in her past.
Either you're with me and you're proud of the woman that I am and I've become, or is it too much from you?
My first observation, guys, whenever you wear the same color, if you dress alike as a couple, all the way down to the fabric of your shirts, the relationship is doomed to fail. And is she a little slow to y'all? Is she a little slow? I mean, she's definitely monotone at least. But let's keep going. Look how he looking. Ooh. But let's keep going.
Divorce Court is now in session.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here today with Latoria Butler and Jerome Harris. The two of you have been together for a year and a half, engaged for the last 4 months, but you're not quite sure if this thing is headed towards marriage, so you came to me to find out. You gave me your marriage license with permission to tear it up should I think the union is ill-advised, and you filled out my compatibility test. You both wrote a book. And Ms. Butler, I'm going to start with you. Why don't you tell me a little bit about this relationship and how we got here today?
Well, Judge Lynn, we...
All right, y'all. So before we keep going, I'm a weird guy. I hardly ever pay attention to the main subject that's in the camera. I always look at the surroundings. This man in this brown suit with his little fro above her right shoulder, this brown suit, pink shirt. Watch all the facial expressions that he has. This guy is super hilarious. So just check it out. But let's listen to Miss Monotone, a.k.a. Latoria Butler.
We are here today because I've run out of ways to communicate with Jerome.
Okay.
I started by just telling him, expressing my feelings, just speaking to him naturally as situations arose, and it wasn't getting through to him. So then I began to search online to look for supporting documents or things that support my feelings, and maybe we can read it together so he would get an understanding of, how I felt.
Well, what kind of things was he not understanding? What were you trying to communicate to him and failed to do so?
It just seems like...
My bad, y'all. I'm too observant. I ain't even noticed my man on the other side of her, at the bald head, right about to go to sleep. Then look at the lady behind him. Look at her yawning. These people been here all day. I'm sorry, y'all. Let's look at the case. I'm sorry. I'm just looking at the audience. Carry on.
I would be talking to him, telling him what my problem is. Even coming here today, I told him that, this was kind of the last straw for me. I wanted to know, if we could spend time with each other and actually have a good time. Like, this was a big deal. And he got here, and none of that resonated with him. How
do you know it didn't resonate? What did you expect him to do as a function thereof?
I expected for us to be a couple. I expected for there to be affection. I expected for him to be with me. We were separate most of the time that we were here. He acted as if he didn't care.
Okay. Why do you have a hard time trusting her, Mr. Harris?
Because she tells me a lot of stories from her promiscuous past. Mm-hmm. She won't let it stay in the past. Every time, every chance she get is always in my face with some story. She calls them stories. I call it, Yeah. but every time, and she say this is so far ago, but it's not.
I understand that you found inappropriate information on social media. Tell me about that.
She and her ex, they had a promiscuous past or whatever. For some reason, he's still stuck there. So he's
still stuck there, but I haven't.
Her pictures.
I haven't responded
all this
to either.
Inappropriate stuff, and she don't know how to stop him. She can't control.
I can't control what someone.
Have you shut him down? Have you talked to him and said, "Hey, we need to cut this out"?
He's not listening. He's not listening.
You say that that you have never.
Now, guys, he's not listening. He's not listening. Now, the most incredible thing that's ever been invented in my mind is the block button. It's so beautiful. You can block anybody, and they can have no contact with you on any and every social media platform. We have this button. So her saying he's not hearing it, that's no excuse.
Been to his house and you had to Google and find his house, and he was being all secretive. What was that about?
It goes before that, I didn't even know his real name, Judge.
Tell me those stories.
He told me, in the beginning of our relationship that his name was E-Rich Johnson. Okay. So
that's not even
that is my children still call him E-Rich till this day. My kids think that's his government first name.
E-Rich is my nickname on the street.
That's what he told me. That's what he told me. I did not find out that his real name.
Alright, fellas, let's be honest, fellas. If you gave a woman a fake name, we all undone it. What's your fake name? I want to hear it in the comment section. My fake name was Mike. It was Mike. Any woman out there that ever heard my fake name, I apologize. Don't hate me. Ladies, y'all notorious for this. Giving fake names and numbers. What's your fake names? Hit me in the comment section. Let me hear it.
And was Jerome until we went to Vegas last year, and I was paying for the flights. And they asked me what was his name, and I said Erich, Johnson. And I told him, I said, "Do you have your ID?" I don't know how he ended up finding. He's like, "Well, that's not my name."
His name?
So then I'm like, okay. So then at that point, that's when I realized that I may have I need to figure out who I'm dealing with.
Okay.
I did.
Okay. All right.
Mr. Harris, I want you to respond to that, but I also want you to tell me what happened when you got to Vegas. Because I think that's an interesting story.
When we got to Vegas and all that, she had a marriage in mind when we got there. I thought we were just going to, to have fun.
We agreed, but once again, he has.
How long had you been together?
6 months, maybe.
No, at that point.
So you guys went to Vegas. You were under the impression that he was gonna marry you?
I thought
it was 4 months.
Exactly. I thought I was under that impression, Your Honor, because
did he ask you to marry him?
He sent me a ring. He sent me a ring and said, "What do you think that I'm thinking?" That's what he sent to me. So that's what put my head there. He went and purchased a ring. And, he sent it to me, so I'm like, okay, maybe he's ready. So, yes, that's what put me in that mind frame.
Did you know where he lived before that?
I did not.
So you thought a guy whose house you've never been to and didn't know where he lived was asking you to marry him?
Yes.
Guys, I don't have to say anything. I think you guys are seeing it. This lady is delusional. And she's making herself look like a fool. But let's keep going.
Her past that she's stuck in most of the time, she won't come out of. I understand that everybody has a past, but that's no excuse to me when you constantly bringing up stories and bringing up these other men and still communicating with them in certain ways.
You will let him finish.
So if she can't let the past be past and just leave it alone, then no, I can't. It'll come back to bite her eventually, and it'll come back to bite me. I mean, it's a history that going on right now. Stuff from 20, 30 years, in people's past is coming up right now.
Right now, yeah. So
and she's talking about writing children's books.
Okay.
You can't, there's certain things you have to stay out of, or at least be a big gap between, the time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then you can say, well, it's been past, that was 20 years ago and all this kind of stuff. That's at least that's some defense.
Gotcha. Ms. Butler, your response?
My response is I talk to him because he's my partner. I should be able to express, my past. I feel that my past has made me into the person that I am today. I am proud of my past. It has taught me to be a better person. I should be able to go to him as my partner and tell him, this is why I'm this way. He may ask me a question and I will bring up something that happened.
Yo, I'm sorry, dog, but I'm listening to her, but that man that on her left, he's still falling asleep. They had to take him out the camera for a while, but he's still going to sleep.
Previously, years ago, and I only bring up the conversations as we're talking. Now, when we're arguing, he comes back and he brings up my past, and then he throws it in my face to try to make me feel less than. I have cried because of the things that he has said to me to try to make me feel less than. I don't just talk about my past just to talk about it because I'm stuck there, but I am a firm believer that has made me into the woman that I am.
Let me say this. In general, I understand what you have been through in the past does make you who you are today. But in general, a guy that's in love with you and wants to be with you don't want to hear about all your sexual exploits with somebody else.
I don't go that far. I only answer what he asked me. And for someone to sit here and try to bring that out, you talking about
hey.
She wasn't on it.
We are here.
Guys, this is why I love Judge Lynn Toler so much, because she keep it even. She tell the women just as much she tell the men. She get everybody straight. But that's a word to the wise for any single ladies watching this. I think we go into too much information too often, and also too early. I've seen so many cases where women on the first couple dates trying to tell men all the issues they've been through and what they not gonna put up with, and who, what their baby daddies did and ex-husbands did. I mean, save all that for later on. I mean, really, honestly, you don't even have to be told. you can see the characteristics somebody have pretty early, and if you allow them to show and reveal themselves, don't tell a man too much information, because a lot of times that's why you get tricked, because you tell a man so much of what you don't want, he know what not to do to keep you. And as long as you keep telling him that, he can keep up the fakeness. But eventually, of course, somebody real self come out when they get comfortable. But how much time have you wasted with somebody who really wasn't what you needed or wanted, but they could manipulate the situation enough to fake it till they make it? So, word to the wise, stop talking about your business so much. Stop talking about your past so much. The past is the past for a reason. Leave it there. It's behind you.
Here on a Before Your Vows. I just wanted to mention that again. Do you two really have any expectation of getting married? I mean, because what I have here looks like a divorce case, not a Before Your Vows. I see no love, I see anger and just vilification of one another.
Every week.
Do you love her?
Every week.
Yes.
Why? Ask him why. Ask him why. Ask him why.
Unfortunately.
Ask him why, because I
said
still don't know.
She's a...
Ms. Butler, are you looking to get married? My sense was, from the documents, that you were rushing down the aisle. You find this guy, he's good.
I'm not rushing. No, I am not rushing. Otherwise, I would have been married to, two other different guys. I want to be married to the right person, and I just don't know. Some of his actions show that he cares a little bit, but then he always go. It's just every week is something different. Every week is something different, and I'm confused. I just don't know.
Because,
like I say, I tried to communicate. I came up with ways, tried to communicate with him, writing things down. He says that I'm all over the place all the time, so I try to write it down. Maybe that'll help me stay focused on track, but it doesn't get through to him. And I heard you say once, couples needed to learn how to, fight the problem and not each other.
Right.
And I heard that, and I said, that's what I need to tell him. That's what I got it. That still didn't work. So I said, what? I'm gonna write her. I'm gonna write her today.
I got it. I think I know what. No, I don't. That's a lie. I don't know what's going on.
Judge Lynn frustrated. All right, guys. Judge Lynn's about to wrap it up here. Let's see what she got to say.
Mrs. Butler, Mr. Harris, when I read your compatibility test, I said you both wrote books. You did. It was like waves of frustration and miscommunication and anger and distress. And I saw two people who weren't getting anything that they needed from the other person. Nothing at all. And I said, well, maybe I'm just confused. I came out here, you two are like combatants. Not people in love. I don't see, we were going along and then we ran into this hiccup or that hiccup. Y'all just on the same page at all. You're trying to force a square into a round hole. This is an exercise in insanity. You're over there almost in tears. You're hysterical. You talk in your papers about he doesn't understand me. He doesn't listen. He throws up my moral bracket. Why in the world would you even consider becoming married to somebody like that? And for the same reason for you. It's an exercise in insanity. You think her background is too bad. She's too nasty. She brings it too much to the fore. You all into the Bible, and you think she's a hoe. So what are you doing? What are you doing? I don't understand. It's like I got her. She ain't anything about what I want. She's not who I need. She's not what I want. Can't tell her the truth, but I'm going to marry her, and then I'm going to chip her away and you just as bad. You haven't told me anything good about one another. You feel misunderstood, unloved, uncared for. What in the world are you doing?
It's hard out here, Your Honor. You don't understand how hard it is. And let me explain something.
I got it. No. I'm all done. I understand there may be slim pickings. That there's not a whole lot of dudes out there. But sweetheart, sometimes you just have to learn. Sometimes it's better by yourself. You know what I mean? It's not. You haven't failed. You're not less than just because you don't have a dude. You know, don't stick with a dude that makes it dark and miserable rather than just to be alone and be happy in your own light. You can do that. It'll work out. It'll be fine. My sister never got married. She has way more fun than I do most days. No. You got to quit talking a little bit and sit back and listen.
Please
and
quit
hear
talking.
people, because part of your problem is you want to talk,
Amen.
but you can't.
It's not okay for him to come out here and make me seem like I'm this bad person, because I am.
But I think that's the best thing that could have happened. Because if he could do that to you in this forum, he's not the guy to marry.
Exactly, and I know that.
Mission accomplished. This matter's adjourned.
Guys, Judge Lynn hit it on the nail like she always does. Guys, I think it's just a depiction of so many couples out there, so many people out there that would rather be with somebody who has nothing in common or has nothing to do with what they really want in life. But they decide to be with somebody out of desperation. And we got to take our blinders off. But as I said, Judge Lynn hit the nail on the head. And as you guys know, I do not own this video. I ask you guys to go support Divorce Court and Judge Lynn Toller. They do have a YouTube channel. Go check it out, guys. Now, guys, we may be ashamed, but a lot of us know that couple, or some of us may be that couple. There's a lot of us trying to force things and make things happen that should not fit. When I think about relationships, it's such a conundrum. I mean, you got married people wishing to be single. You got single people wishing to be married. I think as humans, we're just always in a position of wanting something that we don't have. We see a life that we used to experience, or we see a life that we want to experience, and we just have so much envy. And we're just so very reluctant to be content in where we are. I also think that we rush into relationships. We rush into things. I think relationships in the 21st century are in fast forward. I won't be a hypocrite here. My wife and I, we're definitely in fast forward. It's like we met each other one day. Next thing we know, we see each other every day. Next thing we know, we're engaged. Next thing we as millennials in this millennial era, we're just very much in fast forward. I think we don't take advantage of taking our time. I think we don't take enough time to build ourselves as individuals. The single life is a great thing. I love my life to the core, and I won't take back the years that we've had. But we've discussed several times how we will train our children to be sure that you're in a great place before you find a commitment. I'm definitely going to encourage my son, if I have a son, boy, get your life together. Don't get in a committed relationship until you have committed to yourself. When you have gotten your life into a place where you can manage life to the best of your ability, then I believe you're ready to be in a committed relationship. Guys, what's wrong with courting? What's wrong with dating? What's wrong with having a good time? What's wrong with that? Where did we get to the point where we had to have a relationship to define us? And of course, we can go very deep into this, where we can go into a lot of us were raised by single parents, in particular single moms. So I can see why a lot of women would desire to have a man to define them, meaning that they didn't have a father to define them. And vice versa for men. I can see why a lot of men will want a woman to be there to define who they are, having a life partner so they can have the family that they always desired as a child. I can see how that can happen. And I understand a lot of people say, babe, you complete me. You make me whole. You were the fragment that I always need. You were the missing piece in my life. I understand that. But be sure that whatever fragment that you are, that you're whole. And you're able to bring someone else to be one whole. It's too many of us are broken pieces ourselves, and we're trying to get somebody else to put our pieces together. That ain't gonna work out. And we do know there's so many issues that we can go on forever and ever talking about that are involved with the single life. There's sex, the ability to have multiple incomes, the intimacy, just so many things that society calls for us that would be a lot easier for us to have a spouse. But there's also gracious things and wonderful things that can be done in single life. The fact that you don't have to answer to no one. The fact that you can come and go as you please. And the Bible talks about this a lot. I'm not going to get into scripture too much, but the Bible does talk about this a lot. And Whether you believe in God or not, whether you are serving in a church or in a ministry or not, it's important for us to be following our purpose. Purpose is the key to it all, guys. I'm trying to learn that more and more each day, and I encourage you guys to focus on that as well. When we follow purpose, so many things follow us. Money follows us. Success follows us. Opportunity follows us. And women and men follow us. People. We get connected to people. When you follow whatever you were created to do, you will find people. And that leads to finding your spouse. My wife and I met in college, which we were kids, so we weren't thinking about marriage or anything like that when we initially met. But we met while we were doing something, while you were finding who you wanted to be in life. And I bet if you poll a lot of successful couples, you'll see the same thing. They were following their purpose, following their passions, and they met the person that they eventually married. And I'm gonna end this, guys, with another quote. We love quotes, don't we? It's a quote from Deborah Filletta. Sorry, guys, I'm horrible with names. It's from True Love Date Quotes by Deborah Filletta. It says, "Your longing for an intimate relationship with another person is something you were created to feel. It doesn't mean that you are unholy or that you haven't let Jesus fill your heart the way he should. It means you're human, created in the image of God. A God who loves, a God who connects, and who longs for a relationship himself. Jesus can never be your boyfriend." You hear that, ladies? Jesus can never be your boyfriend or girlfriend, fellas. Jesus ain't your girlfriend. But you hardly hear men say that. Because we were never intended to be. A significant part of your heart was designed specifically for just him. But there is a part of your heart that was designed specifically for others. Guys, I believe that quote is for those who out there that feel bad at times. May feel that you're not good enough. May feel like it's something wrong with you. And may feel like it's something wrong with you that goes against your faith. Because let's face it, you're horny. You're let's face it, you have the need and the want for intimacy. Those desires that we have, guys, were created by God. It's not a bad thing. We just have to allow our desires to fit his will and our desires to fit his plan for our lives. So I want to encourage anybody out there that's single, that's divorced, separated, widowed, be encouraged. No, there's nothing wrong with you, and there's nothing wrong with being single. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. If you don't know already, my name is mel.on.mars, and Mars stands for music, athletics, relationship, and spirituality. Every Sunday I do a spirituality video. Every Tuesday I release an athletics video. Every Wednesday I release a relationship video. And every Thursday I release a music topic video. Guys, you don't want to miss this. This thing is growing more and more every single day. And I don't want you to miss anything. I want you to become one of my subscribers. For my subscribers, I affectionately call them the universe. Why the universe? Well, the word universe is defined as all existing matter and space considered as one whole. And that's what I want. I want all my subscribers, whether you share my opinions, you share my beliefs, or you disagree with them, I want you to be a part of this so we can have this open dialogue and hopefully we all can become better. Whether you educating me, I'm educating you. Let's do this thing together and let's have a good time. On this journey with me, guys, you will have some laughter, you may shed some tears, you're going to be educated, but all in all, you will be definitely entertained. There's a couple things I need you to do before you exit out this video. First, in a couple seconds, you're going to see my chubby face pop up right here. Once you see that, click it. And when you click it, it's going to allow you to subscribe to my channel. Secondly, right next to that, you're going to see an option with a bell. That bell would allow you to have notifications come up every time I have a video so I can get your instant reaction. And lastly, you're going to also see a video that's perfectly for you come up in this corner. Click that video. If you haven't seen it already, check it out. Let me hear what you guys say about it. Guys, this thing is growing and growing every single day, and I only can grow even more based on your support. So I need you guys to like my videos, share it with your friends, comment. Let me hear what you guys say about these topics. I know I talk a lot of crap. I know I talk about a lot of controversial topics, but don't be afraid to comment on it. Don't be afraid to say your true opinion. I want to hear that. Again, this is a universe. I want you guys to be a part of it. I want all of our collective thoughts to come together and create something better and a change for this world. It's your boy Mel on Mars. I love you, and let's grow. Peace.